Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our third episode of Sensei's Circle. Today, with me, I have a very special guest, Miguel. He's here representing Youth Gaming, and we're going to be talking about his gaming company as well as Sophie, which is a new RPG that he is coming out with and he is developing. So, to start it all off, Miguel, how are you doing today?
I'm really, really fine. I'm working a lot on the project. Well, like I said, creating a website to show to everyone later. So we are working a lot this week and today, but I'm fine. I'm
Good.
really good.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. So, as I touched on, Sophie is an upcoming RPG developed by Youth Gaming. So, tell us about the story behind it and what your inspirations were going into it.
Oh, the story it's a little bit mysteriously, so I cannot tell everything about it. But I has a like I said a synopsis that I can tell you and I
Okay.
can tell everyone. It's like Sophie is a girl. She has a lot of problems, a lot of psycho problems, I guess. Like I can say that. And he she lives in a kingdom. And one day in this kingdom, some mysterious creatures start to appear and starts to plague the population. And Sophie doesn't suffer the effects of these creatures, so she is the one who can fight against them. So Sophie starts to fight, but she will realize that she has a connection with these monsters and these creatures, and this will be a mystery too. So she will need to figure it out what makes this connection, why she has this connection, and the story will growing up with all this stuff, with Sophie fighting, Sophie trying to discover her origin, why she has that power, why she is a magician. Later, she will discover that she can do magic and stuff like that. So this is the synopsis, I guess. The most I can tell you right now. You'll be seeing more on the game when you play it.
That's awesome. That's actually a really cool, idea and concept that the same people that she's fighting against kind of gives her the abilities and everything that she has. So that's definitely cool. And it definitely gives the element of being like an everyday person and not just like this hero, right? That you always start the game with.
Yes.
It's just kind of like you're just this random girl, and then you're just discovering yourself that you have these things with you, and that's amazing. And I definitely think that that's something that a lot of people can relate with.
Yes, that's a thing that I wanted to put on Sophie. I want she to look like this random person, to look like a common person. It's like anyone can be like Sophie. Anyone have problems, and you probably will see yourself on Sophie in a lot of moments at the game. So this is what I wanted to show to the people, and you are going to see in the end of the story that everything is much more common than what you expected, and we'll have a lot of surprise about that.
That's awesome. That's I really enjoy that idea. I can't wait for that. So, how long have you been working on Sophie?
Well, it's a recently project. I can say we've been working something like 1 month and a half. I started at the April beginning, so it's not a project that I've been developing a lot time, but it's something that I'm really putting myself on it. So I'm trying to work really hard. That's why we already have a lot of pictures and a lot of things to show to the people because it's it's a thing that I'm really working hard on it. And the idea is, how can I say? I have this idea for a long time. It's not a new idea. I just try to put on a project and start right now. But I have this idea something like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Wow, that's awesome. So you said we when you're talking about working on it. So how many people are currently working on Sophie?
Well, we have four working on counting me. We have three composers, and one of them are creating the sound effects, and the other two are working on the soundtracks. I help a little. I help too on the soundtracks. I'm trying to help them because it's in my head. So the best thing I can show to them is what is my head. So
Yeah.
I try to show them some compositions of mine too. Of course, I'm not a professional, so I'm just make something to show them what I want. So it's something like that. I don't know if we're going to increase the team size. I guess we are cool right now. Are we can work with this number of people. In my head, I wasn't going to work with a team. It's something that just happened when I was developing, and I posted some pictures and they get interest. So I just thought that it could be a good idea to develop with a team.
Yeah, that's really cool. So when you said that it's in your head, so like when you're imagining the story and everything, you're like hearing audio and stuff going with it as well?
Yes, yes. I got a real strong imagination. So everything happens in my head, and then I try to put on the paper, try to write and to draw and stuff like that. So everything goes on my head, and later I try to real work on it. So it's something like that. My imagination it's a little bit crazy. Some weird stuff happens right here. So I'm always trying to adapt to the reality.
That's cool. So you said that this is something that you've been thinking about for years now. So then, do you already know how this story is going to end up, or is it something that you're kind of going through as you build it?
Yes, I already know how we are going to finish the story because the whole story is based on the end of the story. Like I said, it's something like a surprise that you're going to have on the end of the story. So I'm writing everything, thinking about the end, writing everything to show how the story will end. But so I started this project knowing how the story would end.
That's awesome. So are you coming up with like the meat of the story in the middle of it, or do you kind of know the entire journey and how it's going to go and stuff like that?
Well done. It's something like I'm in the middle right now. I already wrote the chapter, some chapters, not all of them, but some chapters are already wrote. But just trying to free my head of something that it's already created. I'm trying to create at the moment. I'm trying to write everything, trying to get ideas, get references, and try to put everything there. But like I said, I already know the end, but I'm writing as the time that I'm working on it,
Hmm.
the what people tell me, and I'm trying to do the best for each chapter and not to just write something that it was already on my head. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get a lot of reference and stuff like that.
That's freaking really cool. So where did you come up with the idea for Sophie?
Well, this is funny. I guess I was really I got a really great inspiration on a day, and I just started to create some compositions, to create some songs, and at night, and I really liked the songs, and I just tried to create phrases to go along with the songs. And the phrases had a name, Sophie. Every phrase had this name, and I liked the idea of Sophie being a girl and someone talking to her, like a conversation, someone trying to give advice to her. So this is the main idea of Sophie, and it's how I'm working right now. This is how the idea come up for me. It's not like I think that come on with great projects and stuff like that. It's just a day I was composing. I create some phrases. I got the name Sophie. I liked it, and I tried to start the project. And it's a good thing right now. I'm being able to create a great project. I guess I'm really liking like the way the project is going on. So it's just that it's the idea that came from nowhere, I can say.
Well, that's awesome, and you can tell that it's a great project because Sophie actually just won an award. So tell us about like what the competition was and what that award is.
As it was a competition on a forum. I guess it's a forum. I can say it's a game develop forum, and we had something like 5 projects competing with Sophie. So it was a great surprise for me that we could be able to win something like that because I was not expecting to win a prize or win an award so soon.
Yeah,
So it was a surprise for me, and the other projects were really good too. So it was a hard competition, I guess, and we just won for something like 2 votes. So it was really close to the second place. So I was really happy. The team was really happy to win something like this. And the competition was in a Condado Braveheart. It's a game developed forum here in Brazil. So I didn't know about the competition at the start of it. I just know because I entered the forum and I saw that Sophie was competing with other projects, and I was, oh, how we are just developing for 1 month and we already are competing in something like this. So it was a surprise for me since the beginning of it.
that's all. I could only imagine how amazing that felt going into what started as a passion project for you, and then
Yes.
going into the competition and winning the competition. In your mind, I can only imagine you're probably like, we can do something amazing right here with this.
Yes. It was a thing that make me feel like Sophie can get anywhere.
Yeah,
So we can start to work harder, even harder in this project because we really have something cool in our hands and we need to show to everyone that we can make this get anywhere, get another prizes, get another awards. So we are just trying to make our best to make Sophie the best project that we could be developing.
that's awesome. So what kind of games do you draw your inspirations from when you're thinking about creating worlds and stuff like that?
Oh, I got a really great inspiration of Ori and the Blind Forest. I guess it's an awesome game. I really loved it when I played. I really liked the emotional feeling that it can pass to you. So I'm trying to do this with Sophie, trying to pass some emotional feelings to the people that we're going to play. So Ori and the Blind Forest is the main reference to us, and the soundtracks, the art, mainly the art, it's something that I'm really using to create my own art, and it's the main reference for us. I really appreciate the games like Hollow Knight, if I'm not wrong. Hollow Knight,
Hmm.
Stardew Valley is a great inspiration for me too because the developer started by himself and just achieve a lot of rewards, and now he is just developing another game and he is great in the game develop industry. So he's a real inspiration for me, a reference that I'm using in my game. Shoot of Light too, of course, I cannot forget the Shoot of Light game. It's a game from, I guess, Ubisoft, and it's an awesome game too. Just like or in the Blind Forest, it's an emotional game that can pass real feelings to the player when
Hmm.
he's playing. So it's a game that I really liked it. So Celeste too. Celeste is another indie game that we really use as a reference because it's really good. It made a lot of success when it was launched. So we are using it like a reference to us too. But I didn't played that much, but I for the time that I played, I really liked it and what I saw. So we are kind of using like a reference too.
Yeah, that's awesome. And one of the things that all of them, the only game that I haven't played from there is Stardew Valley, but it's something that I've looked at a lot and I'm interested in. Stardew Valley to me, it seems like there's so much to do, and there's so much time to be spent in that game, and I already have so many different games that I like to play, so I'm afraid to play Stardew Valley just because I don't want to get stuck for so long. But the thing that they all seem to have in common for me, that is what I get from Sophie, is that it's very rich with story, and it has great story in it, and it's driven by amazing characters. Which is something that when I actually, stumbled upon you and started looking at everything from Sophie, that is what drew me into wanting to do this, because I feel like the concept is really good and the art is really good, and I could just tell from the scene that I saw from your Twitter page just how much passion you're pouring into it, and that just speaks volume because I love passion. So so let's talk a little bit more about Sophie. So what platforms are you going to be releasing Sophie on?
So we're thinking about Steam and Xbox One. This is our objective. So we just will try to put on these platforms first, but we want to put on PS4 and Nintendo Switch, Android too as well. So I don't know if we're going to be able to put on all of these platforms, but we'll try to put on Steam and Xbox One.
Mhm.
This is a thing that I can guarantee that we are going to put over there. We are going to put the demo on itchy.io too, I guess, probably, but the final release will be on Steam and Xbox One.
Okay. I know that it's still early project that you're working on everything, but do you know when around we could expect Sophie to be released?
Oh, we have like something, I guess, around the end of this year. We can release the demo probably between September and November. So probably you can expect a demo from Sophie and at this time. But the final release, I guess, probably after the half of the next year.
Mhm.
So it's something that I can say. I don't know if it's going to be ready to be launched at this time, but we are trying to work really hard to make this happen in the next year
Mhm.
because we guess it's a good time. It's a good time to develop and to create a community around it.
Yeah.
So I guess probably you can expect in the next year, but after the half of the next year.
That's awesome. So do you know how much the price point's going to be on Sophie when you release it?
Oh, I don't know. We are just searching for something like a reference at the marketing, so to try to put a price that can reach everyone to make everyone being capable to buy the project because it's a game that I'm making this game to reach everyone. I guess every kind of person
Mhm.
could really have a good time with Sophie.
Yeah.
So it's something that I'm trying to make it everything in the art, in the soundtracks, and things like that. So we are just studying the best option for everyone to us to. Of course, we are not going to put a price that is too low because we are really working hard on it. But you're not going to put a price that is too high and cannot reach the amount of people that we want to.
Yeah, absolutely. So it definitely sounds like you're focusing heavily on Sophie right now. Is there any other projects that you're currently working on or something that you have in mind for after Sophie's completed?
Oh, like I said, my imagination is really crazy. So I have a lot of projects on my mind. I'm trying to control them and to just focus on Sophie right now because I guess we need to organize everything. We need a solid project. So I don't want to distract my mind with other projects right now. But I have a lot of ideas, and if Sophie has a good, like, can I say, if
Reception?
Sophie goes right, if we be able to get a good result with Sophie, probably I will start working on these other ideas. So, but now I'm just focusing on Sophie the most that I can.
That's awesome. What advice would you give to someone who's starting out in game design?
Oh, that's a little bit complicated because starting on game design could be really challenging because You have to learn a lot of stuff. You have to put yourself on it, really hard working. And but the advice that I can say to everyone who wants to start in this industry, who wants to start making games, is to start with projects, small projects, and just try to learn them a lot. Just try to learn and to get knowledge before starting a big project, because when you start to making games you think, oh, I'm going to make a MMORPG, and I'm going to launch the next League of Legends, and I'm going to create something like Diablo 3. And you're not going to be able to do that, because you need to learn a lot of stuff to just create a simple pixel art game. So the best thing you can do is start with small projects. You start to learning how to create a game design document for your games, how to organize everything, which areas you want to develop more. Like I'm really into art and programming. So this is the areas that I study at the most. So this is the areas that I can work with good results. So you need to think about that when you're going to start in game design. You just, I guess, like I can say that you need to keep your foot on the ground.
Mhm.
Keep your feet in the ground, because this will help you a lot. I say that because when I started, I was on one of that say, oh, I'm going to create a new League of Legends. I'm going to create a new great RPG. I'm going to be rich doing this. So I just realized that this is not so easy and we need to work really hard. I'm developing for 7 years right now, so I learned a lot of things in this path. And the time that now it's the time that I think I'm ready to create a big project. So Sophie is a big project for me. It's something that I really need to organize, write a story, to create a lot of things,
Yeah.
to keep focusing on it. So it's the thing that I'm trying to do, but because I think I'm ready to do it.
Yeah.
So I studied a lot to get here, and I guess this is the best thing that you can do when you're starting. Just learn, just trying to study, just trying to get your references and stuff like that. It will help you a lot to being successful in the future.
That's amazing advice. So this next part of this is what I like to call story time with Sensei. Okay, so this is going to be more about you and your background and how you got into what you're doing and how it's changed your life and stuff like that. So the first
Perfect.
question I have is, how did you begin doing game design? And you just said you've been doing it for 7 years, but how did you begin? How did you know it's something that you wanted to do, and how did you get into it?
Oh, I really like game design since I was a kid. Something like I was always trying to write stories, was always trying to create games. I created a lot of paper board games to play with my friends when I was a kid, to create cards, characters, and stuff like that. I always enjoyed to do that. So I started to search for programs, for things that could help me to start developing games. But I get a little bit frustrated because I downloaded a CryEngine and my computer was not able to run it. So I really tried a lot of programs, but I started my game design career, I can say like that, in the RPG Maker. I found it. It was in Portuguese, so it helped me a lot. I found a forum. I found people that was developing in RPG Maker too. So it was there my start. So I downloaded and started to make my games. But like I said at the beginning, you think you're going to create a great project, a good something that will be really big when you launch. So I canceled a lot of projects at the beginning. I tried to start a lot of games, but I never finished it. So I guess if I started with small projects, I could start it Sophie sooner. I could start Sophie like the 3 years ago when I had the idea.
Yeah.
So, but it was that I'm right now. I'm here right now. So I guess it was a great path. I learned a lot. Like I said, I studied a lot. I met a lot of good people. This is one of the best things in the game developer world. You will know a lot of people, a lot of good people, a lot of friends. So I have a lot of friends from this world right now, and I really like to talk to them because they are speaking my language, like I can say. So I started like this. I just downloaded RPG Maker and started to search for communities where I could learn more,
Hmm.
start to search for YouTube videos that could help me to learn.
Yeah.
And it's that. It's basically that.
That's awesome. So, what software do you use?
Oh, now I'm using Unity because I guess Unity is the best software for me to develop Sophie because it has a lot of support on the internet. You can find a lot of communities explaining things, a lot of communities teaching things. So it was the best option for me right now, and I guess it's free. Also, it's free, so it helps a lot that I don't have enough money to pay for a big big platform to a big engine to make my games. So I'm using Unity because I guess it's a really good program. It's easy to use. It has a good interface, so it's easy to you to start to learn how to use it. The people are talking about Godot 2. I guess it's a good engine too, but I prefer Unit at the moment.
Hmm.
Probably I will develop more games in Unit later when I finish Sophie. So it's the engine that I'm using now.
That's awesome. What is something that you want to get better at when it comes to game design, and what does it look like? How do you focus on getting better at something?
This is a hard question because I am always trying to get better of in everything. Like I said, I'm kind of more into art and programming, but I really like the to make musics. I really like to write the story. So I want to get better at everything. Like I said before, or in the Blind Forest, it's a big reference for me. I follow the artist on ArtStation, and I'm always seeing his projects, always seeing his heart, and it's a thing that I want to achieve one day. I want to make art like him, to make great arts and realistic ones and things like that. To arts that you can pass emotional, you can pass feelings to the people that are looking at. So this is a thing that I'm really trying to get better at, and I guess it's the part that I'm working harder at the moment, art and stuff like that, because it's the part that I'm working a lot on Sophie. So it's a thing that I really want to get better at. It's the art.
Okay. What do you want to accomplish with game design?
Well, like I said, I always loved game design. I always loved making games. So if I could be able to live with games, to live making games one day, it's what I would do. So it's my dream to live making games, to work with games, to be in this world, but like a developer, a professional developer.
Hmm.
So it's kind of my dream right now. I don't know how the future will be, how the things will go on with Sophie. So I'll just try to do my best right now and to to organize my head to not just think about the dreams but think about the work right now.
Yeah.
So like I said, I want to live doing making games. I guess everyone who makes games at this moment, like an indie developer, wants to live with this because it's a real passion,
Yeah.
something that we really like to do. So I guess it's that I want to live doing games one day.
Awesome. Well, that sounds amazing. And from everything that I've seen, the hard work that you've put into just for a month and a half into Sophie, I definitely think that is something that's possible, and I look forward to seeing more. So, Miguel, thank you for coming on today. Youth
Thank
Gaming,
you.
I look forward to seeing more from them as well as Sophie in the upcoming months and possibly year for when it's hopefully
Yes.
releasing. I'm gonna have all of your social media platforms posted down below. Before we get out of here, is there anything else that you want to say?
Oh, I just want to say to the people who are trying to achieve their dreams, to trying to live with they want to do, trying to be happy with what they want to do, just don't give up. Keep doing, keep hard working, keep studying, keep learning, because one day you'll be rewarded for this hard work. I guess we always get our reward when we work hard. It's a thing that I believe in. It's a thing that I want to pass to everyone. I will try to pass this with Sophie's story too. You you should never stop believing in our dreams. It's a thing that I can say to everyone who wants to make games or whatever. If you want to make food, if you want to make videos, want to make a YouTube channel, just try it. Just learn, just study, and just apply everything. And hard working will be the key to you get your dreams and to get the things that you want to achieve.
Perfect. Very well said. Very well put. Miguel, I can't wait to see more from you, more from Youth Gaming, and more from Sophie. And for everyone watching, we have a sample of Sophie coming up right after this. So until next time, I'll see you later.
See you later. Thank you.